Hey Harmonizers, I've been getting ready for the Horse World Expo in Pennsylvania with Kahleesi, who you probably haven't seen for quite a while doing anything super exciting like this because she's been mostly a lesson horse for the last long while. So I'm bringing her out and I'm like, okay, what kind of tricks do you remember? Because we haven't done a lot of this stuff in quite a while. She's an absolute superstar at being a lesson horse. So I love what she's been doing. And she does a lot of walk, trot, canter, pulls, some jumps, but not so much these trick things. And even the live play that she did last summer, it was more just kind of walking through a crowd. It didn't require any of these kind of demo-like tricks. And so we're going to be doing some Liberty and we're going to be there doing some demos. And I'm like, okay, you need to know some things and we need to practice. And I was hoping to take Elysia down, but because of her bout of colitis, and even though she's recovering really, really well and seems to be doing awesome, taking her down to Pennsylvania would just risk adding some stress to her and potentially getting some inflammation just from being stressed. And so I want her to stay home and just stay really healthy. So I'm choosing to see the silver lining that this means spending some time with Kahleesi, who I haven't done some one-on-one like this with in quite a while. And as I'm working through these different things, I'm thinking, okay, like these are things that you used to know that are not super well practiced. Let's get a feel for how well you relearn them now, how much time that's taking you to do, how comfortable you are with these things, because we got to put together some fun things for this demo. And I want to make sure it's things that she's good at doing, because when we go to do a demo, it's not just about, trying to impress the crowd. It's like trying to show that partnership with your horse and the things that they enjoy doing. Those are the things that they're going to do best. So if she tells me, she's not ready for X, Y, or Z, then we're not going to do that. We're going to try to focus on the things that she can do really well. And Liberty is not something that she's super well practiced in. We do a little bit here and there at our camps and things like that, but really not a whole lot. So I'm going right back to some walking basics. I'm like, okay, like you have to come back to me. And she does get distracted. Like here you can see she's just like, oh, I'm just going to wander down there. I'm like, all right, let's try this again, and kind of really focusing on her, getting her to draw back to me. So there you can see she actually goes around the box really well and comes back to me. And I'm like, oh boy, like this is a little bit short notice to get you ready, because with Elysia being sick, and then deciding to bring Kahleesi instead, we were kind of waiting first to make sure that there was nothing contagious at our barn. And so all the tests came back negative. So it's like, okay, I can work with a different horse in the barn, which is why I'm working with Miss Kahleesi. So we've only been working on things for, I probably would say, maybe 4 or 5 sessions now. So it's not a lot of time getting like sprucing things back up again. And I'm just hoping to get her comfortable. What we're doing at the Horse World Expo, I'm really excited to go down because I love that expo so much. I'm going to be doing some clinic presentations, one on balanced riding, one on calm connection, and I myself will not be doing any riding because I'm still not cleared to ride with my injury. But these presentations are a maximum of 60 minutes in the ring. It'll be other people riding or working with their horses, and I'm really lucky to be going down with a lot of friends and people that I already know, and so they kind of know what to expect, and it makes it a lot easier. And in terms of recovering from my brain injury, I'm doing really well, but I definitely still have a long way to go. But the things that I tend to struggle with are short-term memory. So like back and forth conversations can be a little harder, or I might forget some things the next day, but it won't really matter for the sake of doing the presentations. Or a lot of the things that I'm going to be doing, it doesn't matter if I do them out of order. It's kind of like my own thing. I can do the exercises whatever order I want to. And I've been doing horses and talking about harmony horsemanship and the exercises for so many years that content I actually remember quite well. It's usually the more recent memories that are a little bit more tricky for me, or if I'm doing too much in a day, or the stress kind of builds up, like my brain definitely gets more tired than it used to. So there's definitely some little things that I'm going to have to manage. So I'm not really going to be at the Harmony Horsemanship booth much, because I want to be careful that I'm not engaging in conversations with people all day. That's going to be really tricky and hard for me. So instead, I'm going to focus on having fun with my friends and family that are down there, like making it really low key for me and my mental capacity, having fun with my horse who's going to be down there, Kahleesi, and then my presentations will just be max 60 minutes. And then we'll have these Liberty demos that are going to be about 5 minutes. This part's really funny here. Khaleesi's like, oh wait, we haven't done a tarp in a while. And she runs off. So I have to bring her back and work on the tarp a little bit more. And so for these presentations will be in equitainment as well as theater equus, but I'm going to be doing it with Harmonia equestrians, Jennifer and Joe, who are both certified harmony horsemanship instructors, and they're great friends of mine. And so I'm looking forward to going down and doing it with them. So it's not all focused on me. It's sharing, the fun of being with your horse and having a partnership and what we can do. It's all as a team. So I'm really excited to be part of that and have friends to do it with, because it takes a little bit of the pressure off me too, because I'm doing this because it's fun for me. I love horses. I love sharing my passion for horses. And I really love the Horse World Expo in Pennsylvania. It's definitely one of my favorite expos to go to. I love that it's all indoors and all interconnected. I love that they've got 3 different rings for doing the presentations, as well as like a seminar hall. So much shopping. They've got a whole kids area. So I'm just stoked to be going down there. And I'm excited that my kids are coming down with me. So I'll get to take them and show them a few things, but also with family support and friends down there. There will be lots of help to get through all of the pieces that are there. But it's just a really great opportunity for me too, because it's just little bouts every day, like 1 hour every day for the presentations and the actual equitainment and theater equus presentations. Those are only 5 minutes each. So it keeps things kind of short bouts throughout the day. So I'm curious to see how I handle 4 days of doing that, because I have not put myself in a situation like that since the accident. But I will have a lot of support down there. So I'm really excited to be going down. A little bit nervous about how Khaleesi's doing, because as you can see, there's some things that she's kind of like, oh wow, we haven't done this for a while. So like the tarp, going over it with the side passing the object, she was a little bit tricky about that. And then sometimes she's just not used to sticking with me for a long Liberty session. So she was kind of going, wandering away for that. You can see she can go on the tarp and she gets pretty comfortable. And then I was working on a little bit of just moving stuff around here. And I'm really just searching for those fun things that she is comfortable with, that will be fun for people to watch as well. And it's a little bit sad that Elysia is not going to be coming down with me, because she has so many fun things that she can do, and she's trained to such a high level where she can even do a shoulder in at Liberty, and I can switch directions like the bend for her. She can also do some really nice collected circles, both trotting, cantering, and she does all sorts of really fun things. Whereas Khaleesi's Liberty and trick training was much more basic, because she's one of the first horses that I got and taught, and I didn't go as in depth with her because she became such an amazing lesson horse that she's pretty busy doing all of those types of things, and adding more to her skills when she's already doing so much just didn't seem like a priority. So instead, I'm kind of showing off some of her bomb proofness, or I guess you could say her tarp proofness, being able to work off some of stuff like that. She does know a little bit of the side passes, the backing up, and just kind of playing around a little bit with what she knows. She also was taught lay down, but it wasn't something that we'd practiced a whole lot of. So I'll show you guys that in a future video. And there you can see a little bit of Liberty trot while waving the tarp, because I'm trying to assess. It's like a really tricky thing. It's like, okay, we're going to be going to do this demo. They're short. They're like less than 5 minutes long. So do I want to risk it being totally at Liberty? Like here, she's wearing a halter, but there's no rope attached or anything. So do I want to do it totally at Liberty and, risk her running away while I'm flapping a tarp? Or who knows? Like, you guys will have to wait and see what we actually do as part of the team for theater equus. But I'm like, do I want you to be at Liberty, or do I want to have a lead rope attached to you and just, make sure that it all goes smoothly, or Liberty just for a little bit? So a lot of this kind of playing with her over the next few days before we go down is just kind of figuring out, okay, like what are the things that she is totally comfortable with, Is she going to be able to stay glued to me at liberty? Because this isn't something we've been practicing. And it's not so much that she can't, because she definitely can. It's more that these presentations are so short, like less than 5 minutes. So there isn't a lot of time for, oh, look, she wandered off. Okay, let me just get her back. Here's a cute little back by tail. So it's about trying to figure out, what can I reasonably do with her in the short amount of time that we have? And part of that's, what can she do well? But also if she does leave me, like, let's try to work on that comeback skill of her coming back to me. So that way, if she is leaving, that it actually doesn't take a long time to get her back as well. Because it's a lot of things to kind of think about. But the nice thing for me is it's not a scripted routine. Like, it's not super precise or exact. We definitely have a little bit of an idea of what we're going to be doing in terms of it being a team, and like, okay, now the music is fast, now the music is slow, what are we going to do? But because I'm doing it with the team members, they can go off and do the canter and the high energy. Like, they'll help keep the routine on schedule a lot better. And then me, if I forget things or I don't know what's going on, no big deal. I'm just going to have fun with my horse and try my best to kind of go with the flow and fit in with what the group's doing. But it really takes a lot of that stress off and makes me feel really excited to go down, just knowing that it's not going to be like something where I'll get into trouble, for example, if I don't do the right thing. So she's doing really awesome. And here's a little bit of a look of her lay down, which she takes a little while to get to her lay down. Like you can see, I'm asking for it. She does a fair bit of pawing, turning around. And keep in mind that these demos are less than 5 minutes. So if you're going to take a minute to get your lay down in, like, that's a good chunk of time. So it's like, okay, Kahleesi, we're going to need to practice this a little bit more to get this a little faster. You can see there she was like, oh, maybe. And it was like, oh, not quite the right spot. Had to turn a little bit more. And then she finally lays down. So it's in there, but we got to work on getting the lay down a little faster. And then I thought, oh, I'll try sitting on you the same way I did with Elysia. And she gets her one cookie and then she's like, okay, got to be up now. So we're going to have a lot of fun, but I'm really excited to see what we come up with. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.